Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. So do you like watercolor abstract? Well, I do. And today's tutorial is all about having fun with watercolor abstract. Yep, we're going to be playing with paints, wet on wet, splattering paint, all that good stuff. I'm going to be using my new Dr. PH Martins Hydrus watercolors and my regular watercolors to create this fun, simple, abstract spring landscape. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also leave a comment if you like abstract watercolor. Some people do, some people don't, but like I say, it's always fun to play. Playing is the best way to get to know your paints, your paper, your brushes, everything. Also check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials, and a live stream in the top tier. It's just a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate so much. It's also we also have a Facebook page where we have weekly challenges and monthly giveaways. Like I said, it's a place people go and support my channel, which I appreciate. So without further ado, let's get painting watercolor abstract. Alright, so let's go over supplies. I have a really big block today. It's 12 by 18 inches by Fabriano. It's the cold press 100% cotton. I'm using my enamel tin because it can hold a fair amount of water, like of paint in one section. A 2-inch flat wash brush, you know, and whatever else you want to use. So, and I have some white gouache in here too because we might splat some of that. So let's just play around with where we want to put the horizon. If we want to do horizon, if we're going to do like an abstract landscape, you can either have it like way from here, like the land is here and going down, vice versa, in the middle. You just have to figure out where you want your line to be, right? And even if you just tape it, so I might grab some tape. This is just Scotch Magic tape. Oops. I know some people don't care for it, but it kind of helps because it keeps the line nice and straight. I'm just going to put this across here and get another piece and put it across here. You can kind of put some on your pants to get the fibers on there and to keep it not so sticky. But I've actually never had a problem with this. So here, so from here down, we'll start to paint. Let's mix up some paint. Let's see what we got. If you think about land down here, maybe some greens. I've got some all different colors here. This is an ultramarine blue with, there's a light yellow. It's a funky color. It's this imidazone, lemon. I don't know, I can't speak English today. Mixing with the ultramarine blue, get this funky green. And you can just start just swiping it like this, wet on dry. And I'm not going to go everywhere. I'm just swiping this part, right? And you can kind of lift the paper up if you want, or you can prop it up on something. I have this like tape roll. I think I'll prop it up on that. That will help it drip down a little bit. So here I'm getting the color. Gonna grab some more of the ultramarine blue, and I have Paynes gray down here. I might grab some peacock blue, and it might not be dark enough. I don't know what colors are down here. I think this is gray still. Yeah, this is gray. I can't tell sometimes, but I also have these really cool hydro watercolors I might play around with also. So I'm gonna grab some Prussian blue, which is over here, to make a deeper green. All the colors I use will always be in the description, by the way. And I'll mix that with some of that yellow. And get a deep dark green. And then with these little legs that are happening here, just put some deep dark green here. And I want to do some light, bright, intense green. So we might get this fun Hydrus watercolor. Ooh. It just, if you saw the enamel tin, look at how cool that is. So let's try and do that on the paper. Oh yeah. So now we also need a spray bottle close by because we're gonna have fun just kind of blending that. Look at that. It just does this whole thing to the paper. I'm gonna clean off my brush, tap it in some water, and kind of just put clean water down here and have it bleed. This Hydrus Just fun, fun, fun. Gonna clean my brush again and go down here. So it's gonna bleed down again. I'm gonna make it bleed all the way down. So now I'm gonna take a smaller brush. I can still play with this. Let's grab a more Hydrus. What do we got here? Turquoise blue, cobalt, blue aqua. A blue aqua would be really nice. Ultramarine would not be really great. Turquoise, it's going to be very springy. Look at this. Okay, so we'll just take a smaller brush. We'll just grab like something like a Princeton 12, Aqua Elite, whatever floppy brush you have. This is all very wet still. I'll add some more water to this color. Let's see how this goes on the paper. Doesn't want to play. That's okay, we can manipulate it. I'm going to go back and get that big brush. No, it doesn't want to play still. So I'm making these little lines, and it's turquoise, and that's kind of interesting. You got to play with your paints, people. Have fun. Here we go back with the Prussian blue. And I'm going to start to use my spray bottle in a second. Get some of those deep greens. It's really looking cool with that turquoise. Okay. It's telling me, move the paint, move the turquoise. We're really going to move. Just go like that. It's got a lot of water to move now. It's going to make this really cool. I'm holding it on diagonal. Right? You can get even feistier with your water. Just really, come on. Let's move, guys. I'm moving down the page. And that yellow still isn't moving, so now I'm going to grab a little bit of this blue. Let's see. Really thick now. It's going into the green. Even the ultramarine blue. You want that green. So I'm going to take that yellow. If you don't like that little drip, kind of just push it. See? I'm making the mess so you don't have to. Just like a 5-second. Just go like that. Swipe. Now I might want to pick up some of that color. If I don't like it, I'll just take the brush, or I can use a sea sponge. But I'll just take the brush and lift up some of this color. If I don't like how it's unfolding down here, tapping it back on the paper towel. It still can kind of fold down because it's still kind of damp. Clean my brush off. But very springy, right? Springy yellows, greens, and blues. While that's still damp, I'm going to clean up some of this over here. That yellow is so intense. You can play with splattering some of it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to put it down here on my tin over here and grab a brush and just whap it. Oh yeah. Try not to get the upper half if you can. Maybe put some paper on top. It's just creating these really cool colors. And you can do the same with that turquoise. It's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to grab that turquoise, which is pretty intense. There it is. Oh, the fun you can have when you're making abstract. It's going to keep bleeding because it's all very wet. It's just going to change up a lot of stuff that's in here. It kind of went up here a little bit. I don't want it to go too far. So it's doing that funky over here. Let's see. If we want to play with this a little more, I want to add some more deeper color for green. So I'm going to grab my Prussian blue, if I can find it. Of course, when I'm looking for it, I can't find it. Mix that with the yellow. I want a deep green. There we go. But it's kind of an intense deep green, isn't it? Look at that. tippy tap over here. Little lines. Just like that. Just kind of like using the edge of this. And then I might go in and grab some water, clean it off. Again, some water, just lightly touching it over in here. And you could spray it again if you want. Get really wet with this. Move that paint. See, it's moving, it's going down. And again, swipe it up a little bit if you don't want all that paint to drip. You want to remove some of it. I kind of want to get this motion on, like it's going diagonal to the right. Okay, I lost some of my yellow again, but that's okay. Pretty intense though. I'm gonna go add some of that back in. So we're just playing. I mean, I might even just put a drop of full, see what happens. This is all be abstract. Really kind of fun. Bullseyes. You can move it around too, but just moving this paper like this, and it's bleeding down to the right, which we were looking for. Kind of funky. Oops, I'm putting it down flat now. A little shiny. So now we can kind of loosen up some of that white gouache. Gonna move it over here and splatter that and see how this goes. It's got a little color because my brush was kind of dirty. Here we go. I'll clean it off. Loosen it up. You see when you're loosening this up? It's gonna have like a tinge to it, like a cream. Just slightly tap. The wetter it is, the more it will kind of just bleed into like a, it won't be all white. You won't see it white. It will kind of just dissipate. But it will have this cool effect, which I really like. Get really tiny ones. See how it's doing it already? You know I've done this a million times on my channel. Just doing it a million more. And I'm going to grab some acrylic ink. This is a sepia color. Going to just clean up some of this palette mess and do the same thing. Because it's acrylic ink, it's kind of do the same thing that the gouache did. It'll kind of like dissipate and just kind of create these kind of funky little blooms. Now, like I said, if you want to put a piece of paper up here, you might want to do that. Just grabbing some paper so you don't get it up here. There we go. Just doing that whole bloom thing. And that way you don't get it all over up the top. Because we're going to do the sky. And you could do gold with this, be kind of cool. But the brown is really pretty. There's also a sepia Hydrus watercolor. So we're going to add some of that. It's pretty intense. I'm just getting everything in the kitchen sink. This is what I'm saying to you. Do the same thing. Have fun. It's going to see what this splatters and how this moves. This looks like little tree stumps all intertwined. Feel free to do that with the aqua too. Getting this really loose. Just having fun. Oh yeah. Splattering is so therapeutic. See how it hits that yellow and it turns into this really pretty green? Love, love, love. You can't go wrong. You can only have fun. And that's the name of the game, in my opinion, when you're doing this kind of stuff. And if you want it again, make a deeper green. Let's see if I can find my colors all kind of blended together. Cadmium yellow deep. That's a really deep green. I'm just going to get something loose. There we go. Oh, wow, that texture that it looks like. This is incredible. Very exciting. It's kind of making a little bit of a mess. A little bit of a mess. I can't speak today. But it does look really cool. You can take your credit card, if you have a credit card, and play around with scraping. Just get some energy out. Move the paint around if you want to do that. Kind of fun to play with that. Another thing you can do is take a piece of paper towel, even though it's still damp, scrunch it, and I always kind of twist it, and it creates like a really cool effect. I'm going to tippy tap the bottom here, so it gets a little bit lighter. It has a nice abstract kind of texture. Gonna get some more paper towel. So we'll make it lighter, of course, because you're removing the paint, but it's really fun. Just twisting it. Do a little bit up here, not too much, because I love all these funky colors that are happening. And keep it lighter down here. Could even swipe it. Get some energy. Like I said, it's supposed to be all about play. And that's what we're doing. Okay, so at this point, we have to let it dry. We have gone crazy. We've done it all, right? And we can let it dry. We can go on and do another layer once it's dry if we want to add some more to it. But let it dry for now. It looks really cool. All right. All right, once that's dry, I'll do my test. See? Comes right off. Look at that. And now we're going to do tape on top of the other side of the paint. Remember, you can put it on your, I'm going to put some on my fabric, on my pants, so it doesn't stick so much. Do it on here. Try to just tape just where the lines are. Now I did get some splatter up here, which I didn't want to do, and it happened. And now you gotta figure out what kind of skies you want. Now I'm getting this intense kind of stuff going on. But here I'm gonna grab my cobalt from the Hydrus, and I'm gonna use that flat wash brush. You can use a bigger one or smaller one. Look at that. Oh, there was still some green on there, so that didn't help me. Live tutorial. You can see all my mistakes. You can learn from them. All right, I want an intense color. And you can just go like this. Just like this. Like almost like mountains. But it's going to be my sky. And it's kind of an abstract sky. I'm not going to fill the whole paper. I'm just going to do some of it. Okay, just got that one line there. And now I'm going to grab some Prussian blue. Mix that with some Paynes gray. Get little threads here. So it's really deep. Get a little bit wet. I want it to bleed, so. And we can flip this paper around if that makes more sense for you. I want it to bleed a little bit. So I'm going to get this a little bit looser. Going here. Adding a swipe. Somewhat big swipe. And I'll hold it on that thing again, and it's not dark enough still. Gonna grab some more dark paint. Let it bleed down slowly and create a really kind of cool, funky, abstract kind of sky. Right? You could add a little more things in here. You could make it a little more looser. Maybe I'll get some little loose paint here. I'm gonna get this really dark. It's my intention is to have some parts dark, some parts medium, some parts light. Depends on how you want to do it. I'm gonna clean up my brush. It wants to cooperate. I'm just gonna go a little bit here with the water. I want it to bleed a little bit more. I don't want to spray it. Just have those funky little lines. This I kind of like. And I'll go back in and add some more deep color. And hopefully it just blends down a little bit more. Remember, it's an abstract. It doesn't have to be this perfect thing. I'm going to hold it up like that so it bleeds more. Let's see what we got. Here, I'll just take my number 10 and kind of finagle this one a little bit. Okay. I'll turn it around and see how it looks. Kind of funky, right? Different. I might do one more swipe this way. Getting some grayish color. See how I got the gray there now? Mixed all those greens and reds and blues. I actually want to swipe this way. Like I said, I'm playing. I have no big plan. I just play with the paints and just see where it takes me. If you didn't notice that this was going under my tape, so I just removed my tape. And so it bled through. Not the best, but hey, we can always just play. We can just move this paint, grabbing the brush, kind of moving it along. It ruined my little aesthetic. Maybe be a little more careful than I was and making sure that tape was really put down. But you know what? It still looks cool. I don't mind it so much. Look at that. I love this kind of like, this is really textural and this is just like a smooth, pretty abstract on top. So it doesn't take much to make a really cool abstract. Just play with some paint. I'm just going to maneuver this and fix this a little bit. And there you go. And that is our really quick abstract landscape. And I think it's really kind of fun and different. And you could go back and do some other stuff in here. You can splatter some gold, play around with it a little more. Just want to keep it kind of simple. I might want to put in some gold. I don't know, or I don't think I'm going to splatter anything on top. You know, you could go around playing with adding in some swipes of green or something in here, but like I said, I want to keep it simple. This has a little line. Maybe you didn't care about that. I like the bleed here. You could have done trees in here. It's just kind of funky, you know. And that is our abstract for today. So I hope it was fun. I hope you like watching me make a mess. You know, like I said, with the tape on the top, just maybe wait or stick it down tighter. Maybe mine was too loose and it should have been a little stickier here. You know, whatever, play with it. And that is our really quick abstract watercolor using a really large piece of paper. If you can get one of these pads, it's great to play with it and you get a really big piece. You can add some color. I didn't add more color. I could add, which would be kind of fun, maybe this Hydrus or the orange. There's an orange or vermillion. The vermillion's actually really pretty. Again, here's a dropper, right? I would put paper up here if you don't want to splatter it here, and you're going to splatter it below, because that's my intention. I have like little flowers, spring flowers. Get it loose. Do a little fun. And a little bit of red. You can paint some. So just adding, instead of splattering it, a bigger splatter might be better. I don't know. You can't really see that this one. So I've gotten a bigger brush. It helps make it bigger splatter. Get that red in there. It's kind of pretty. It doesn't seem to want to splat. There we go. Ooh, I like the intensity of that. And the vermilion and the orange is really kind of cool too. Some of these want to play games with me. They don't actually want to do what they're supposed to do. Here's the orange. So they look like little flowers in the field, even after we splatter the other color. Kind of really fun. There you go. Enjoy, have fun, play around with it, go crazy. That's what it's all about. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.